Yo, what is up, YouTube? It's P Gang or P Nation or P Boxing. And today I'm going to be giving y'all a quick breakdown of this card. It's about to start in like a couple of minutes. So I'm just going to be zipping through my picks. I think I got the magic formula. I think I'm about to go 12 for 12, but we'll see. All right, so first we got Kong Wang versus Victoria Leonardo. I got Kong Wang by knockout in round one. She's a power puncher. She kind of fights like Amanda Lemos. Big power on the feet. Big hands, all that type of stuff. She should be able to stuff the takedowns of Victoria Leonardo. And Leonardo, she doesn't have the best punch resistance. She's on the way out. And, yeah, I think Conway makes easy work of her. So, give me Conway in that matchup. Zigomantis from Mosca versus Nathan Fletcher. Zigomantis, he's a dangerous striker on the feet, pushes a pace, a lot of volume. And I think he's going to eventually get to Nathan Fletcher. Nathan Fletcher has decent takedowns, decent striking all around. But I think Zigomantis is that X factor, man. He has that power. He has that pace. And I think he's going to make Fletcher uncomfortable, put him on the back foot, kind of like Ofley did. And he could even mix in some takedowns, but I think when it comes down to it, he's going to revert back to that striking and knock him out. So, and his only loss, I think, is by knockout. So, give me Zigomantis from Mosca by knockout over Nathan Fletcher. Next fight, we have Josie Nunes versus Jacqueline Cavalcanti. I got Cavalcanti by decision. I think she's a cleaner striker. I think that, the large height advantage that Cavalcanti has is going to give Josie Nunes a lot of problems, and I think she's going to struggle with that, trying to get in on the inside. I think Cavalcanti's just going to light her up from range and just, pick her apart, and make her really uncomfortable and just embarrass her over 3 rounds. So give me Cavalcanti by decision. Vyacheslav Borislev versus James Lontok. I have Vyacheslav Borislev by KO in round 2. I think, for Borislev, he's had some tough matchups against grapplers. This is the first matchup where he's really getting a striker, a favorable matchup here. And he's one of the elite strikers at the lightweight division. He has big power. He has, really good striking, and Yontop just doesn't have that. He's just not at that level. And I think Borislev will get to him inside 2 rounds. I think he should land, some big shots on him and get him out of there quick. So give me Borislev by knockout in round 2. Okay. Jose Medina going up against Zach Reese. I don't know if this is my first underdog pick, but it's one of the first. Jose Medina, I got to explain myself for this one, so I might take a little longer. Okay, why I'm picking Jose Medina? Purely because I think Jose Medina is a better boxer than Zach Reese. I think he overall is a better striker. And I think going down a weight class is really going to help him with his power, with his durability, not with his durability, but he keeps that durability, obviously, when he coming down from weight class. I think he's going to keep that. I think he's going to, stay really tough out there. And for Zach Reese, he's going to have to go out there and grapple this guy. It's going to have to be his game plan. But Zach Reese, he has decent takedown defense. I think, honestly, in this matchup, I think Zach Reese, I don't think he's going to land a sub. Like, when I see him getting these subs, he's on his back. And that's just not an advantageous position. That's not a position that you can't really rely on that too much. Like, that's just always, going to happen. It's kind of very circumstantial the way he's getting these submissions. He's not really setting them up. They kind of just happen. And for most of his career, these fights aren't even getting out of the first round. So I think Medina, with his pace, with his, constant heart, with his toughness, with his better boxing, superior boxing, and just being the tougher guy out there, having more experience, like I said, I think he's going to, put a pace on Zach Reese. And after he gets out of the first round, it's going to get really interesting for Zach Reese, And I think Medina, he'll fight through, he'll get up from takedowns. He'll avoid, getting out of, weird positions and submissions. Stay tough, and he'll cruise to a close 29-28 decision. So give me Jose Medina in that spot. Next one, I got Dennis Bazooka over Francis Marshall. Honestly, it's a pretty close fight, but I got to lean with my boy from Aljo's camp, man. I'm a big Aljamain Sterling fan, one of my favorite fighters. And, Dennis Bazooka, he's showing improvements. He has really good striking, really good grappling. I know he did get controlled by Sean Woodson, but I kind of attribute that to him not really knowing that Sean Woodson was going to go out there and grapple with him. He has a good idea. Francis Marshall is coming out in short notice. He hasn't looked too good in his last 2 performances. I think Dennis Bazooka can defensively grapple. I think he's a better striker in this matchup. I think he can beat Francis Marshall over 15 minutes. So give me Dennis Bazooka to decision, Francis Marshall. Next fight, we got Edmund Shabazian going up against GM3. In this matchup, I got GM3 to get a decision. I just think after round 1, I think Edmund Shabazi is not going to be as good. And that where the knockout's not going to be there. And I think GM3's takedowns, his pressure is going to, get to Edmund Shabazian. And him still being there, I think that's going to really bother him. And then Shabazian, he just won't be as good, you know. I think his knockouts seem kind of circumstantial. Not that he doesn't have power, but I don't know if he can consistently rely on that. And then you make it a 15-minute fight that's going to heavily favor GM3, the veteran. And we've seen him go out there and sub guys. I don't think he's necessarily going to win the fight by sub. There might be a scary moment in that first round, but I think rounds 2, 3, I think he can get those takedowns and control him. You know, we've seen Emma Shabazian as someone continues to take them down, continues to put takedown attempts on them. He starts to wilt and he starts to, not be as good. And that goes for anybody. So I think GM3 can apply a similar strategy and survive that first round and get the decision win. I mean, that's how I usually try to pick fights. I try to pick the guy who's the minute winner, not the guy who's the moment winner. I mean, it depends though, like certain exceptions, but that's how I usually like to pick fights. But yeah, give me GM3 by decision. Next fight we have Michael Morales going up against Neil Magny. I got Michael Morales by decision. Michael Morales is the future, man. This guy's a future champion in the making. He has all the skills to be that next best guy. But Neil Magny, he's hard to finish, man. This guy doesn't get finished unless you're like a truly elite guy. I don't know if Morales is that. He's gone to decision in his last 2 fights against Max Griffin, and I'm forgetting who else he went to a decision with. But Neil Magny, he's that next level guy. He's the ultimate gatekeeper. He's tough as hell. You gotta be a world like Burns finished him, I think. You gotta be that level of guy. I don't think Morales is there yet, but he has that potential. He has a chance to really separate himself by getting that finish, but I don't think he will. So give me Morales by decision. I think he'll be better in all facets of the game, but not better enough to get a finish. So give me him by decision. Con Ofley versus Myron Santos. I got Con Ofley. I just didn't like how Myron Santos got grappled so easily against Edwin Cooper Jr., I think it was. So, and we've seen Con Ofley, that's basically his game plan. And we've seen in other fights, he struggled with fighters similar to Con Ofley. So I like Con Ofley's chances to do something similar, use his grappling. And honestly, his striking isn't that atrocious to where he's just going to get flatlined if it's on the feet. I think he could hang with Ofley on the feet, or hang with Santos on the feet, and expose his poor defensive grappling. So, yeah, give me Con Ofley by decision. Loader versus Valentine, another wrestler. I got to go with the wrestler, man. I mean, it depends, obviously, on the matchup, but 9 times out of 10, I'm going to pick a wrestler over a striker. And I think Loader, he's an amazing wrestler. Valentine doesn't have the best defensive grappling. I think Loader's like a D1, like he has lots of experience. We're going to have to see how good his cardio is, but I think that the wrestling's going to come so easy that it's not even going to matter how bad his cardio is later on. But I think it's pretty good. I think he has good conditioning. And I think he'll get a second round KO. I think he's going to get Valentin in a bad position. I think he's going to mount him. It's going to be one of them ground and pound type of KO. So give me him by second round knockout by ground and pound. Tabitha Ricci going up against Angela Hill. This one, I mean, it's a 50-50 fight. I don't even have too much thoughts on why I picked who I picked. I mean, I think it could go either way. Ricci's a very good fighter. Angela Hill's a very good fighter. But I'm leaning Ricci, man. I think she's a tremendous fighter. She has a good all-around skill set. She has a good ground game. But so does Angela Hill. So I think it's just going to be a toss-up. I think it's going to be a controversial decision possibly. But I'm leaning the Ricci side. And then main event, Cannonier, Borralho. I got Cannonier. I don't think that Borralho's all that. I think his defensive grappling, I think Cannonier can stop that. I think Cannonier's a better striker on the feet. I think he'll have more volume. And Cannonier has the 5-round experience. He's been here before. I got to go with the veteran. I'm not going to fall for the fighting nerds hype. We're going with Cannonier, Killer Gorilla, all that. So give me him in the main event by decision. That's all I got for y'all today. Leave a like and a review, subscribe. Peace out, most guys. You know what it is.